to hell freezes over. I mean, if I was on the other side of the wall, out there in the back, I would be just as in focus as I was. I mean, I could be 100 foot away and I'd still be in focus because it's depth of field. It doesn't come out of focus. And so it's not autofocus, it's just the nature of the lens. You're going to be in lens. That is true 3D. That's why, you know, when you're doing like, that's why that looks so good. It's like in the trailers for Johnny Depp's new Pirate of the Caribbean. One of the things doing is he's basically, you know, got his sword going out. You know, and I like the line that which is meant to be a double entendre, which was, you know, I told you to stop poking that thing at me. And he said, well, you liked it last night. So, yeah, you know, that's double entendre. But basically, and then we'll go back to, it works well in, you know, as my father was, you know, horse shooting ordinances. Basically, he didn't use shoot. He basically substituted a four-letter word because he was a cowboy type. But you know, a lot of the early 3Ds were all sci-fi and westerns, because in a western you had the Indians. I mean, I can tell you, I was in charge of Powder River, and we sat there, we're charging. You know, I have my little blonde hair all darkened up, and I'm shooting at my, boom, 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 with my rifle, and it's Guy Madison and Frank Lovejoy and these other guys, oh, and Stephen Boyd, I think it was. They're all going over there, you know, over to the side of the river, and we're charging. I said, you know, I remember one of the guys, where the hell our rifles go? Because we came back from lunch and the rifles are all gone. We've now got bows and arrows and lances.
Well, because
it looked good.
Optically, it looks better.
But what is bad is that you see some of the veteran character actors that are in the background that didn't, you know, really look bad. Was that, okay, what do you got? We're not actually not doing this at the guys. They got a guy over by the camera, and they're doing that. They're throwing the arrows and they're throwing the lances, and you see the guys with their rifles. If you see that movie, they're doing like this, they're not shooting people. They're just sitting there knocking things away from them. I mean, that really looked bad. They did an episode, Cheyenne for Warner Brothers, which I worked on too. Basically, it was a show that was designed to do, it basically, they took movies and encapsulated them for television. They copied the same bloody scene as Cheyenne. They didn't realize.
They really?
They did it. I mean, they're sitting there knocking things away with their rifles. They didn't realize that was, the actors were so, I mean, nobody likes working in 3D.
We do.
Well, yeah, we do, because we're...
Oh, well, you know, when we go and do interviews, they're like, oh, you're working in 3D, and they're going, right, they're having fun.
Okay, she's hyper, and I can't stand still because I'm old for one thing, but I never stand still. I come from an era when you basically express things, you know, now the actors today, you know, basically stand, and
well, a lot of
they're emotive.
Yeah, they're emotive. Versus sometimes it's like it's more physical. They're more physical actors.
Yeah, no, I can tell you.
Like Johnny Depp's a physical actor. Jim Carrey's a physical actor.
They would have fit in the early days of film. I can tell you, 1950s. 1950s. I took a class, a method acting class, and I was supposed to do something. Everybody could be a tree or something, and they said, well, okay, you go, do this, and I walked out the door and left the building, and then they wanted to know, well, what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm eating a hamburger down at the hamburger shop, and everybody, well, he can't do that, and he said, well, yeah. That's what I was doing. I'm sitting at a table eating a hamburger. That's not what but that's how stupid the class was. I got my A for creativity. Well, we're being rocks. We're being trees. We're being, I just simply became a person sitting at a table eating a hamburger. So, everybody else, you would not believe who was in that class playing trees, folks. Yeah.
Come on, tell us a few.
Let's try, how about Marlon?
Brando?
Yeah, and how about, James Dean? Yeah. And a few other people that were,
What was Who's that?
That's Marlon Brando.
Oh, really?
And Dean basically copied Brando. And we're also talking, Tony Curtis was back. How about, we're talking DeForest Kelley from Star Trek. We're talking the professor from, from Gilligan's Island. All these people. That's a teacup.
Oh, that's what that is?
No,
oh yeah, remember the Disney teacups? What was it like this?
This is a teacup. It's a teacup. There's my little thing. There's my little spell. That's a teacup. And there were women in there too. I mean, oh God, what was it? One of the women, Kim Hunter, I think, was in there. So all these people are dead. Now, I'm showing you how old I am. They're either dead or not working anymore. But they would not have worked well. I mean, okay, DeForest Kelley got over that stuff, and some of the others got over it because DeForest Kelley became a cowboy. I can remember, the doctor on Star Trek was one hell of a Western actor. I mean, basically he was a good, he was in some of the classic Westerns in the 1950s. I mean, the guy was, I think he was in one of the Wyatt Earp movies, he was in Warlock, he was in a bunch of 4-star Western movies. But they, Westerns do well because you got the guy, the gun comes out and you're fanning it because, I do that because I fan, but, I can go, and the rifle, like John Wayne and his, with his rifle that basically he could cock, because it had a great big handle, he could go that and cock it. And the Indians shooting the arrows and stuff, and the riding the horses, cavalry charges would have been great. Charge of the Light Brigade would have been magnificent. But, we'll put it this way, a sci-fi movie, which is a cerebral sci-fi movie, a cerebral Western, mysteries don't work well in sci-fi. They would not translate because it's all got, can you imagine, we're talking Peter Falk and Columbo.
Well, action works well.
Action works well. Action is sci-fi, but a sci-fi, it cannot be a cerebral sci-fi. They're getting ready to do Clash of the Titans 2, which they think they may actually film it for 3D, even though they're not going to. They're going to back end. Okay, secret. Most productions are back-ended on 3D. They're not actually.
People say, what does it mean it's back-ended?
They do it in the processing room because otherwise you got to shoot 2D and 3D at the same time. Because I can 2D from 3D, but that happened to be one of our own patented little things.
Well, we're used to working it. We work with 3D to 2D and 2D to 3D.
Yeah.
And
we can create 3D out of things that are non-3D. It's how simple it is. We are theoretically the best in the business of what we do. And it's only got to do with the fact that, okay, I've been at this for 60 years, so I know how it's done. The fact that I've got toys to play with, that I have more power in my processing computer than every studio in Hollywood had when they did Girl at Large. I was also in the House of Wax as one of the Lunders, folks. So, I got a history of 3D stuff back to me. We've got a 3D movie out on the film circuit now, so.
Oh, that's right. Yay! I actually need to put that out.
We got to do it. We got our own 3D, and we're also getting ready. We've also been practicing with something which you say you can't do, 3D noir. We actually have seen a little bit 3D noir done one night, and it really looked pretty good. So we're going to do some of that. But we're willing to do things that other people aren't willing to do. The industry.
Well, we like to experiment too.
Yeah, the industry is just not willing to do. They're not willing to put the actors don't like 3D. Because they'll tell you. Like one of the actresses that basically she did a completely nude 3D, and so she basically she'd not really done nude period, and she said the reason why she didn't want to do it, she's afraid it was going to really look bad in 3D. And instead she got, oh my God, look at that. When you're in your 40s and you got guys saying, oh wow. Yeah, she realized there was a lot more to be seen in 3D than there would otherwise have been. But it is, okay, what do we say about 3D to begin with?
Oh, if you don't do everything in 3D, you'll do nothing in 3D.
That's right.
Well, that's part of the challenge, okay, with the TVs, is that you're doing the mobile phones, the tablets, the PCs, the laptops in 3D.
You have to start turning
But they're not doing it on the TVs.
But they don't, okay. I can give you, actually I won't give you, I can sell you a polarized screen for every television set ever manufactured, and you can watch 3D on my polarized screen.
Mm-hmm.
You just put the screen, we're talking early 1950s, my brother and I, basically, I have my brother, my sisters are much younger, so we had watched The Little Monsters, and we basically had a program where basically they sold 3D screens for everybody's TV sets. They fit, well, we all had, there weren't a whole lot of difference in sizes, so you had like the fishbowl and you had like this. So you had screens where, did you have the television screen that looked like the mask on From Earth, on Destination Moon with and they, oh, no, we have you've got the 18-inch screen. So they sent us the thing, we basically, through static electricity, adhered to our television set, and then the little girls could watch 3D. Ooh, look. And then they take their little crayon and they make the 3D, figure in the 3D. They leave part of a building and then they go, yeah, and then, one of my sisters does. I only have one left, so she'll probably kill me anyway. My sister did not drag her knuckles on the ground.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest member living in my family, so, no, but it was that simple. It was nothing more than a screen that used static electricity that you could roll out onto your TV and turn and then take off. We talked to people 2 years ago in Phoenix at CEA about screens.
The CA Industry Forum, Consumer Electronics Association Industry Forum.
Yeah, but that didn't happen. But right now, okay, we have one 3D camera we can see in 3D when we're shooting the camera. The other camera we shows in 2D. Mm-hmm. But to show it in 3D, all we have to do is to get a polarized screen to look at the things. I mean, actually, so it's that simple. It's just a screen that you put when there's those TV sets that you don't need things on, and they say, well, they have their sweet spots. Well, I walked around one of those sets with their sweet spots.
You did?
And no matter where I walked, I could see it. Which meant it was nothing but that screen. It doesn't make a bit of difference on your viewing because you're not, okay, say, right here I am the TV screen right here. She is too close to the screen. She needs to be twice the distance away that she is. And if you're twice the distance, you don't notice the fact that there may be that there's a filter on your screen. Mm-hmm. But you notice it if you're here. From this distance, if she's looking at me, she can see there's a filter. Makes no difference when you're at the right proper distance. Mm-hmm. And according to what's happening is the TV industry is using the doctors to get them off the hook. Well, children should not be allowed to watch 3D television for more than 30 minutes at a time.
Yeah, but see, part of it is if you look at the doctor's reasons, they actually are pretty similar to what they say. You shouldn't be playing video games for a certain amount of time. You shouldn't be watching TV.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. If you're working on a computer, how long should you be taking a break?
Yeah, same difference. It's the same advice. Don't sit there for more than 30 minutes at a time. And, adults, okay. I think 40 million people in our country wear glasses, 3D. These do not work well with glasses. But you know how in the 1950s they solved that problem? They had little flip-over things that went over your glasses.
Oh, actually, Marchon's coming out with those.
And
they're supposed to be coming out in March.
So is Gunnar.
Marchon 3D. Oh, and Gunnar.
Yeah, but they're just clip-ons. Basically, like you can sit there and watch your glasses normally and flip the thing down. Big deal. Then you replace them. So, but we shoot in anaglyph because this is the basis for all forms of 3D. We can show anaglyph on anything. I'm making the assumption I can throw it on. I can show it on any set that doesn't have an active shutter on it. Mm. Active shutter basically scrambles the picture in order to make it impossible for you to use cheap glasses. Well, I heard the same people that are bemoaning the fact, where are the 3D networks? Where are those 3D productions? Why are there no 3D producers out there saying, well, you have to have active shutter. If you go the other way, you're not going to have the quality. So we're trying, I'm explaining this. 1948, my family we had a television set. It looked like a fishbowl. It looked like the mask. Go look to see Destination Moon. These guys that got a fishbowl